Hello everyone. This class will study for Hwaeomsa Temple. As you know, Hwaeomsa Temple is beautiful temple in the Korea. We start from the first roof tile and plum. The psychological effects represented by curves generally give the impression of the femininity and gentleness and tenderness and maturity. Neutral curve of a tile is easiest and least dynamic, gives a sense of freedom, delicacy, grace, gentleness, and indirect feminine feeling. In particular, a spiral-shaped red plum pushes its face through the beautiful lines of roof tile, show a subtle, quiet dignity. The roof curves or expand with the same amount of force along the length, making it seem to keep in tune for the red plum, who improvise a wonderful jazz solo. The continuous progression of the spiral curve of the red plum gives the impression of the infinity. The three branches of the red plum are actively bent, represent feelings of lethargy and excitement. The gentle curved branches are very comfortable, elegant, lyrical, and fast and dizzy curves are strong and seem to imply deep feelings. As you see the first pictures, this is famous um, designers, Bianca Rini, who designed the clothes with much inspiration under the theme of the flowers, like the delicate and geometric spiral curve of the red plum. She also had already introduced, tall beaded iris in 1970. This one, beyond the times and fields, inspiration for nature seemed to be a eternal anytime, anywhere. Let's move the balance between tower and pillar. Pagoda is beautiful in its formality, but it is more holy through its aesthetic expressions. All kinds of status and ornaments were intended to embellish the truth. The small tower you can see in the middle of pictures in its geometric principle and splendid majesty. Tower is always emerging as a constant changes, like spring erupts endlessly. You see the tower is in its geometric shapes. In particular, you can see the originality of only Korean pagoda in the shape of stone pagodas, and various pagodas reflect the natural environment of each region. Looking at the mountain birds and the forest, the band far away, the stone pagoda rise with the restrained lines of the wall tile seem to support the sky in the midst of the strange natural shapes surrounded by mountain like a folding screens. The temple site is repeatedly seen touching to the sky. first glance, the stone pagoda looks very simple, but if you go into detail, it has a very complex part. See sketches of the pagoda. It has a very complex part, and the eaves of the pagoda are layered just like those of the house. The trip is slightly raised as shown in our traditional house. The geometric proportions and shapes of the stone pagoda, hidden with the charm of the restrained lines, are truly amazing. See the pillars behind the restrained and many atmosphere of the stone pagoda. You can see columns boasting natural beauty. In particular, the pillars of the Hwaeomsa Temple were not using many straight wooden pillars, but rather used naturally curved colors. See the picture, the first and seconds, you can directly notice, truly bizarre. Is very wonder if it serves as a pillar. Perhaps it is a strategy to express the naturalness behind the mainly of the temple. Let's move to rainy Hwaeomsa Temple. See pictures of there's still raining with the foggy. The scenery of a temple on a rainy day is very mysterious and even reverent. Looking at the relationship between the rain and colors, the psychological effects of the harmony of each color shown by nature have a common sense, but are somewhat an individual and subjective point of view. Listening to the lyrics of the Frenchy chanson, Rainy Day, you say, on a rainy day, the trees will weep with joy, and the bear, the most beautiful fruit in the world on the branches. Let's talk about the colors. Colors have active colors make the viewer excited and passive ones to make it calm and subside. The former is a series of the warm colors, and such as purple, red, yellow, and the latter is a cool color. The covers cyan, blue, and green. The ray of yellow, purple, green, and purple makes each one feel light. The high brightness color is light, and the high chroma color is light in the same degree. The emotions felt in the colors vary from the cold to the warm, heavy to the light, fresh to plain, and this is called the color feeling, which expresses various ideas and emotions. See, you can see three pictures in the center. The painting of 인왕 제색도. This is very famous, landscape ink painting, misty, margins. And the Vincent van Gogh, the rain, they emphasize the coolness of the wind. And last, third pictures, Pierre Auguste Renoir umbrella, which choose a rainy day as a sweetener the depth to the festival's emotions. Play a role in adding to the emotions through rain. It is enough to awaken new energy by weighing dry emotions with nature. Today, Rain is trying to describe the changes in the colors of the front yard of Hwaeomsa Temple in detail and realistically. Crepe myrtle and lotus lanterns. The beautiful color in the pictures, very bright, right? Um, Looking at the shape and the shadow of lanterns, one can feel the beauty of the balance, means equal distribution of visual weight, nature and a very stable. It is unstable, the rule or the balance is broken without shadow. But in a symmetrical balance, which the two sides repeat the same positions and the same shape as if they were facing the mirror face around the vertical axis of the center, is often seen in the natural environment. Very stable, static, dignified, and quiet. The lanterns on the crepe myrtle are in the form of the asymmetrical balance. See picture at the bottom. There's two pictures. The same visual arrangement on both sides, but the same stability and eye-catching weight due to the interaction of lanterns with unequal positions. It is more active, interesting, passionate, and individual than symmetrical balance. In this way, the lotus lantern in the same temple exhibits a variety of balance based on its color, the light, and shapes and the textures. Since the expression of a perspective in the space is a very important component, the three components that represent the body should be emphasized appropriately. The selection of the appropriate color for the subject should come first among the composition of the focus on color and subject. Let's talk about the more color, and especially in internal hue. You see the danchong, the under the roof, the ceiling part, right? A danchong may have a story from the region of extending the lifespan of the wooden building. The second, authority and the religious consciousness. Third, the beauty of wood materials. Fourth, but one cannot help but be surprised by the Korean traditional color of adapting the living nature in terms of visual and artistic aspects. The types and characteristics of Dancheon are very diverse, and especially the palace architecture of the Joseon dynasty was Daegu in the palace for frugality. Rather than using gold danchong to show a splendid and luxurious appearance by plating it with gold foil, as such, the architecture of the palace during the Joseon dynasty is very important to understand the change in times and cultural sympathy of Korea. color of nature have the vitality to make it feel harmonious and multidimensional. The harmony of colors never constrains our imagination, but on the contrary, it can also be an important factor in creating a new and variable means of the color expressions. I think learning and in understanding the principles and theories of objective colors is the only way out of favor with the subject matter. But even if you have the ability to express the colors and the shapes well, it is not easy to expect a masterpiece without inspiration. See the picture in the middle of the sunny spring day. The five different colors, the nature dyeing clothes are fluttering to embroider the colors of the temple. The subtle, calm, deep colors of the nature dyeing and the dyed with natural dyes show a nature deep hue atmosphere compared to the dye of uh, synthetic dyes. An antibacterial effect depends on the types. The wind-swept fabrics heighten the beautiful moment of mountain. You see the first pictures, a rich visual element of natural dye, enough to create a colorful sensibility. Studio Tech in Japan uses nature and gourmet dyes to place emotional numbers throughout the plastic table. Dye it yourself. Colorize a series of white tables with the colors such as watercolors and gradations. Among these dyes, various natural dyes such as cherry blossoms, saffron, and Japanese blue indigo plants are used. Let's take a break and then we'll come back soon.